story that we are tracking of the cabinet reshuffle, a big dose of political correctness on part of Prakash Javadekar, the new HRD Minister, a day after he's taken over from Smriti Irani. Now, the new HRD Minister was at the residence of Smriti Irani, one of the first things in the morning, meeting his predecessor before beginning the work he has been entrusted with by the Prime Minister. Here's a report.
A day after the biggest promotion of his life, new HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar started off with a meeting with his predecessor. A meeting with former HRD Minister Smriti Irani, now shunted out to a low-profile Textile Ministry.
We are all committed to do some good work when the opportunity we have got, people have given us. And therefore, we will do our best with consultation of all.
After her high-voltage stint at the HRD Ministry, marked by numerous raging controversies, a much sober Smriti thanked the Prime Minister for her new role.
I am happy that I've been given this opportunity, especially when a special package has been announced for the sector. This signifies that my party, and especially the Prime Minister, has faith that I have the capacity to implement the roadmap that was projected through the cabinet to the rest of the country.
Her detractors, however, saw no real change. While the relatively low-profile Javadekar grapples with education portfolio, Smriti may now be inducted as a key player for BJP's must-win UP polls gamble. With a clear message from Narendra Modi on performance, the new minister have pledged to fulfill the PM's growth and governance agenda.
इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इस कंट्री की जो 7.9 है उसको हम डबल डिजिट में ले जाना चाहते हैं, ये हमारे लिए चैलेंज है.
All the priorities will be finalized after understanding the subject.
Opposition has, however, explained the big cabinet revamp. But halfway into his term, PM Modi with this mammoth exercise wants to convey that performance of ministers remains paramount. With Brajesh Pandey in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So Smriti Irani's demotion to Textile Ministry has hogged the headlines after the cabinet reshuffle. Even political pundits are surprised over the move by the Prime Minister. So what changed in last 2 years for Ms. Irani? Here's a look.
Smriti, who lost elections to Congress scion Rahul Gandhi, was under immense attack after Dalit scholar Rohit Vemula snuffed out his life citing pressure from the right-wing groups. Then came the sedition row involving JNU students. Her educational qualifications remain under the scrutiny since she took charge. Smriti was also in the thick of storm after she recommended the sacking of 2 Central University VCs. She also drew flack for the move to wrench powers from the IIM administrators. Even the decisions to introduce Sanskrit in IITs and explore the possibility of separate canteens for vegetarians triggered massive row. Now the Prime Minister has entrusted Prakash Javadekar with the key HRD portfolio, whose proactive role in the climate change talks in Paris advanced India's prospects in the world order. His initiatives in Environment Ministry ensured rupees 10 lakh crore investment and a mega job bonanza. Behind the move is Prime Minister's interest to bring in a doer and performer in the HRD, than somebody who is incessantly involved in controversies. Despite the demotion, the corridors of power are abuzz that Smriti Irani may land a key role in Uttar Pradesh polls, where stakes are high for the BJP.
Well, Smriti Irani brushed aside this as a punishment posting while taking over the Textile Ministry, saying kuch to log kahenge, logon ka kaam hai kehna. And there is a speculation now that she might be part of BJP's larger game plan, terming it a poll tactic. The opposition is suggesting that the former HRD Minister may land a key role in the UP polls.
It's one of the biggest shake-ups in the Modi cabinet. And the biggest spotlight is on Smriti Irani, who's now the former HRD Minister. In the biggest cabinet reshuffle since the Modi government took charge, Smriti Irani has now been given charge of a much lower-profile Textiles Ministry. Thanking Prime Minister Modi and saying that she's ready for the challenge, Irani took over her new role on Wednesday.
That this segment also has a policy in the making, and I'm hopeful that that will soon see the light of day.
But despite the demotion, the corridors of power are abuzz that BJP has a larger game plan behind this huge overhaul. While some believe her controversial tenure amounted to the shunting, speculations are rife that Smriti Irani has been freed up for a key role in Uttar Pradesh polls, where stakes are high for the BJP. But the former HRD Minister laughs it all away.
तो मुझे सिर्फ इतना ही कहना है, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना.
Introduced by the Prime Minister as his choti behan, Smriti Irani has a long road ahead of her. With the new budget of 6,000 crores, sources say that 10 crore job opportunities can be made available in the textile industry. But as she takes over the ministry, the question is, was Smriti unburdened for UP polls, or was it strong action by senior ministers? Bureau Report, India Today.
So while some may term it as golden exit for Smriti Irani, the golden entry has been done by Prakash Javadekar, who was the only minister in the Modi cabinet to be elevated and get the plum HRD Minister portfolio. Speaking exclusively to India Today after being given the charge, he said he is happy at his elevation and will work at providing education to every child. He added that he will go ahead after consulting outgoing HRD Minister Smriti Irani, which he did earlier in the morning. Take a listen.
मैं भारत की प्रभुत्व और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा. I have with me the new HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar. Sir, first of all, congratulations. Now you were holding independent charge of environment. Now you've been thrust upon a ministry which is an extremely crucial ministry. What is your roadmap for this ministry? I think everybody is connected to education because education is empowerment. Education is emancipation. And therefore, it's not only career. It gives you the skills. It gives you more than the values of life. And therefore, education is very important. So, sir, this HRD ministry has become a very hot seat given the kind of controversies and several instances surrounded when your predecessor Smriti Irani was at the power. How do you approach... Today I am not going to make any political comment or anything like that. See, this is a work which has been allotted by the Prime Minister, and everybody, any department, we do our duty dutifully. The earlier ministry which I headed was Environment and Forest, and you know what was the reputation earlier and how we have changed it. We took everybody into confidence and we made a progress, and that's the target. No, that I know because you were the only minister who was elevated in this most anticipated cabinet reshuffle. See, this is not also a correct analogy. When Prime Minister decides, then that was a consequential thing. I don't see this as a specially chosen, no. I think everybody is a specially chosen because India is a specially chosen country.
Now, another minister in the Modi cabinet who lost his telecom portfolio and gained the law portfolio is Ravi Shankar Prasad, who has spoken out on key issues such as the Uniform Civil Code and the appointment of judges. This is an India Today exclusive.
जस्टिस डिलीवरी को हम और मजबूत करें, क्योंकि विकास के लिए त्वरित न्याय प्रक्रिया को तेज करना बहुत जरूरी है. ये हमारी प्राथमिकता होगी. उसके लिए न्यायपालिका में ढांचागत सुविधा हो, नियुक्तियां समय पर हों, नियुक्तियां अच्छे लोगों की हों, इंटेग्रिटी के साथ हों, पारदर्शी हों, ये हमारी पूरी कोशिश होगी. देखिए, समान नागरिक संहिता को आप चुनाव से जोड़कर मत देखिए. कभी यूपी का चुनाव होगा, कभी उत्तराखंड का होगा, और आज तक की टीम हर जगह जाएगी. ये चुनाव, ये जो है, ये संविधान का निर्देश है. इसलिए हमने लॉ कमीशन को कहा है कि व्यापक सहमति होनी चाहिए, सारे स्टेक होल्डर चर्चा होनी चाहिए, संवाद सहमति के आधार पर जो भी नतीजा निकलेगा उसके बारे में हम आगे विचार करेंगे.
So, day after a most comprehensive reshuffle in his team of ministers, India Today has sifted through the moves to make sense of the message that the Prime Minister Modi has sent out. This can be broken down into 10 loose commandments. Well, the first one being no special treatment from the Prime Minister to his ministers. He is very clear on that the ministers who are doing their job will be awarded. Those who are not performing will be slacked. and then you have no throwing around your weight. Well, that could be looked in context with Smriti Irani's supposed demotion, which we have seen making the headlines. The third is, you shall be fully aligned with the Prime Minister's vision. Now, that is another message that Prime Minister has sent out, specifically with the MOS Finance Jayant Sinha now being transferred to the Civil Aviation Ministry, seen as someone who was making comments to the media. Now, negative feedback will be taken seriously. Once again, it could be seen in line with the Smriti Irani shuttling around. Make a mark in your ministry is the next commandment. And the next is travel and spread gospel of the Modi government, which can be seen with promotion of Prakash Javadekar, who's aligned his views with the PMO, as well as what we can see from Venkaiah Naidu being given the plum IND post, who's often spoken and towed the government's line. No negative talk about your colleagues is the next message coming out. If your colleagues are not happy, if your colleagues are also complaining about you, you could be in trouble. What we could see and make from Smriti Irani's demotion allegedly as well. Now, you're not number 2 in Modi government. So anybody who's thinking they're closer to the top brass, you are mistaken. We've seen that how the Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's INB portfolio was taken away from him, supposedly in the Modi's inner circle. So the clear message, nobody is in that inner circle. Allies shall not make demands from the government. A message sent clearly to Shiva Sena, which has not been given any further berth in the cabinet. And last but not the least, party comes first and not self-interest. So while Smriti Irani turns out to be the biggest loser, Prakash Javadekar is the biggest gainer in the cabinet reshuffle. Through this rejig, the Prime Minister has apparently sent a strong signal to his ministers, making it clear that there is no alternative to performance.
"19 new ministers inducted in the Modi cabinet. And 5 old faces dropped for their non-performance. The message is loud and clear. Doers and performers will be rewarded, while the non-performers will have to go. The big takeaways from the cabinet rejig are that the Prime Minister is his own man, who knows to take hard decisions, even if that means sacrificing those who are close to him. The rejig clearly indicates that the Prime Minister does not like his ministers to be in spotlight for the wrong reasons and wants them to concentrate on work. The PM has sent out a strong signal that he is keen on balancing caste with efficiency. While caste can get you a portfolio, but the position can't be taken for granted. To revive the economy, Modi has pinned immense hope on his finance minister, relieving Arun Jaitley from the additional portfolios he held. In the new cabinet, however, there is also a talent deficit. While Modi has yet again firmly established his command over the cabinet, Prakash Javadekar tops the list of gainers with promotion to a cabinet rank of HRD Ministry. Piyush Goyal has been rewarded with additional portfolio of mines. PM has entrusted Anand Kumar with the key Parliamentary Affairs Ministry, as the government is set to lock horns with the opposition over GST. Former journalist M.J. Akbar has been brought in as Junior Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Delhi leader Vijay Goyal has been given plum post of Sports Minister. But there are those who have lost out. The biggest loser is Smriti Irani, who will now head the low-key Textile Ministry. It's a demotion second time round for Sadananda Gowda, who has now been moved out of Law Ministry. Controversial former Army Chief V.K. Singh has lost additional portfolio on Northeast region. In a major setback, Jayant Sinha has now been moved out of Finance Ministry to Civil Aviation.